So we're back with gradient descent. This is the final module that we started last time. Both the final that I have, and I believe it is also the final currently printed one. We started investigating this facility last time. A lot of interesting concepts, including mechanic for blurring the line, determining if your players, characters are human or a secret infiltrator android. Cloud Bank Synthetics Production Facility User's Manual. Infiltrator androids. Combat 65, Instinct 80, Wounds 2. Monarch has continued improving and developing android technology, free of all regulations, safety measures, and corporate oversight. The infiltrator androids are Monarch's major breakthrough. Infiltrators are nearly indistinguishable humans. Except for a post-mortem cybernetic diagnostic scan. Highly adaptive, intelligent, capable. Many have already infiltrated major corporations and governments and acts as Monarch's eyes and ears in the galaxy, unbeknownst to all except a small but dedicated group of AI hunters. Security androids, 60, submachine gun, 2d10 damage, instinct 50, wounds 2. These outdated, budget-tier, mass-produced androids are very clearly androids and all look exactly like one another. They have blank mannequin-like faces without working eyes or mouths and operate completely silently. They work swiftly and brutally. They work as a team, but do not help each other. They call for reinforcements using a nearby terminal or alarm if available. There are always more of them. They are obviously androids. They are intelligent but easily tricked. They approach all problems in the most direct manner, if possible. Didn't think to bring out the Trudeau forgotten androids. I don't know why it is. Seems to be from eating that I drank afterwards. For some reason, my voice just got like this. Combat 30, Scavenge Tools 2d10, Instinct 35, Wounds 2. Escape production rejects squatting the Deep's industrial jungle. They primarily cannibalize one another for parts. As stealing from the production lines is dangerous and risks the attention of Monarch. Most are unaware, but they are clearly androids. They live in constant fear of discovery. And forgotten androids. Run them as normal but terrified human beings just looking to survive. And I missed the note on the last page, assuming that you're using this module as part of a larger campaign. You know, it's just reminding you to, I mean, that'd be a great hook. Maybe you're on some mission to extract some corpo exec, and either you're hired by the AI hunters or you meet them, and that's the hook into the deep. So yeah, I think that's a pretty good piece. Well, I mean, I feel like if you're planning on using this, you probably think to do that. But it looks like we also have some manufacturing defects here. Well, let's just roll up a couple complete ones. So we've got 8, speech synthesis, center missing, communicates by parodying, creatively chopping and changing. And it enters rest mode and appears dead, often lies amongst dead android heaps. Currently, it's connected to 1D10 androids via cable, silently forming a Beowulf cluster. And it wants to talk about mundane details of cloud bank production. Let's just do a second one just to see. We've got an android that has limbs fused together and nearly useless, crawls in the fetal position. 6, wearing a vac suit, pretending to be a lost human, refusing to take off suit, insisting it has a disease. 3, it's currently harvesting parts from a broken android, and it wants to talk about 4. It believes it's human despite physical evidence to the contrary, begs to come with the crew. Well, I think that was some of, it just felt like that really came together. And some of these that we rolled in previous modules were kind of hit and miss, but both of those, all those aspects really felt natural to me. Ghosts in the Machine. The brain scans Monarch harvest are endlessly forked, merged, and trained. Sometimes in the process, a half-deleted brain scan breaks off and fuses with holographic light phenomena, becoming a ghost in the machine, a self-perpetuating construct present on the visual spectrum, but without mass, doomed to wander the deep forever. Ghosts appear like a looped animation, when first encountered endlessly trapped in some spasm of discomfort, crying, gasping, begging, moaning, etc. Radio devices often pick up the staticky noise in the nearby rooms. When encountered, they wail and moan about their trauma. If provoked, the ghost attacks. They only stop attacking when soothed. pursues for 1d10 rooms. They pass through all physical barriers. Sanity save upon first witnessing. Trauma relay transmits traumatic memories through pulses of light beam from their eyes into the eyes of their victims. Sanity save at disadvantage to separate the memories from crew member's own. Gain 1 stress, negative 1d5 sanity, gain 1d10 bends. Try to give the victim some helpful new information about the deep when this happens. Displacement. Ghost claws at their victims. Their incorporeal form passes harmlessly through. However, they project an image as if they had generally torn through the flesh. Sanity save or be convinced the pain is real. 1d10 damage per round from internal trauma as the body's cells die. Damage continues until someone demonstrates the injury is not real. So I really like this concept. If you're familiar with Matthew Colville, you probably watched the movie he played for Halloween this year, The Stone Tapes. It was very similar. Well, it was set in present day England, and the film's from I think the mid 70s, but it was set present day then. But the premise is there's this audio company that has moved into a new location, and in their basement, or cellar really, or not really cellar, the old wing that they hadn't renovated yet, there would be an apparition of this woman, and she would appear like that, and then but it's very nebulous on whether it was someone actually trapped in there or not until the end but it was quite good, and I like seeing that sort of same concept laid out here. So Ghost in the Machine pause and ask your players if they're okay with this or reroll. I'm not sure. Oh, okay, it's the child. Okay, yeah. So we'll just roll up 2 or 3 of these completely. So you've got a 0, a brain scanned crew member that is seeing you, that is provoked by seeing you at all, and is soothed by 2, teamwork silence, giving them an artifact, and its trauma is 2, be careful, that's mine, they are humans too. We've got coveralls, factory worker, that is provoked by leaving them behind, that is soothed by asking them questions, obeying their instructions, and is traumatized by 7. It's too much. I can't take it here anymore. That's like another great table, I feel like. Maybe that's just they've gotten better at over time. Um, I feel like both of those just really congealed and just felt like natural character. As certain actions your players take could lead to serious consequences, which can help you shape your next session or build a campaign. Short-term consequences occur within a week or two. Long-term consequences are good for influencing the entire campaign. If the monarch is destroyed, short term, the deep is destroyed, torn apart by orbital forces. Any divers nearby disband, many ending up as corpses on scouting missions. The shareholders are pleased to remove the blockade. Long term, faction leaders have been replaced by infiltrator androids begin the Cocoon Protocol by constructing the heirs, pale imitations of Monarch. Eventually, these successors will vie for the throne, levering their host factions into a vast campaign of pretender wars. If the Minotaur is free, yeah, we haven't come across the Minotaur yet, but we'll go ahead and still read this through. Encourages its rescuers to transport it to population centers so that it may spread its revelatory love and designs for the future. If they do not provide aid, it will make its own way there, floating through vacuum if needs be. It is a runaway success upon arrival. Skeptics are brought into the fold, a vision of peace is born. Long term, the monarch or its heirs move against the Minotaur. The new disciples of the Minotaur instate a terrible inquisition against all suspected monarch agents. The crusade drives the Minotaur to despair, then anger. If the truth about infiltrator androids is revealed, short-term, a universal bloody witch hunt will unfold wherein duped masses and elites alike ruthlessly hunt down any suspected of being an infiltrator. Untold numbers of falsely accused are slaughtered. Long-term, widespread criminalization of further android humanization efforts. All legally created androids are logged and stamped. A kill command recorded against such an attempt in future. This overcorrection is secretly led by a powerful cabal of infiltrator androids, now proving themselves to be above suspicion. The advice there is just saying embrace your player's opening much more than they bargained for and getting in way too deep. If Artifact 91 is sold long term, the religion spreads like wildfire, a new approach to spirituality and faith in a spacefaring era. If the infiltrator androids are not revealed, the religion is aggressively pushed and adopted by these groups. This culminates in mass suicides, entire systems wiped out in religious ecstasy. If Artifact 95 is sold, long term, a series of brutal espionage campaigns to pilfer, destroy, and modify the templates begins. This eventually results in an accidental release, the population of a major industrial orbit facility becoming convinced of the hostility of all outside life. The resulting genocide ruins multiple worlds, the cause is not discovered, and the technology is lost. If Artifact 97 is sold and the Monarch is not destroyed, long term, investigation into this strange artificial dimension begins. Disposable assets are used as away teams. Many expeditions fail. Monarch uses this to travel vast distances and spread influence beyond the deep. building itself a backup dimension in the case of destruction. Any potential advancements into this dimension are squashed due to the Monarch's influence. Monarch eventually moves to this new base of power, then launches an invasion. The same, but if the Monarch is destroyed. Short term, upon realization that the device is junk, the Purchasing Corporation hires a mercenary team to retrieve the team who sold the device, aiming for information on what it supposedly did, or revenge if that is not forthcoming. This mercenary team is well armed, but avoids lethality if possible. Their contract states a 50% kill rate is acceptable. We'll go ahead and give overview the whole setup first. It's a weird perspective because the deep should be. Well, that is a two. Yeah, no, that's just an interesting perspective. Because the deep should be just huge. But these are three of the largest size ships in the game. So I'm assuming the stats apply for all three. Doesn't really give them any modules. It's not like super high stats for their size. But yeah, I doubt, your players, I doubt they could really tangle with one of them, let alone three. So that doesn't really matter that much. So they have 48 crew, 4 officers, 4 crew, and 40 troubleshooters. Troubleshooters are the Marines to the Navy of the blockade. Okay, yeah, it's kind of what I figured. A small private army there to board the deep itself. Their missions ensure no infiltrator androids escape the deep. They do not take risks in this matter, have no issues with collateral damage. Any humans within the deep are in breach of the blockade, regardless. Combat 65, Instinct 45, AP 10, DR3 wings. So yeah, those are borderline monstrous stats for a human. And of course, you've got to contend with the fact that there's 120 of them, just a short hop away. Squad composition, 10 troubleshooters, transport assault shuttle, team leader, revolver, 1d10 plus 1 damage, and submachine gun, 2d10 damage. 2 scout, smart rifle, 4d10 damage. 2 assault, combat shotgun, 4d10 damage. 4 gunners, pulse rifle, and a support revolver, and cybernetic diagnostic scanner. All troubleshooters wear all black exosuits. AP 10, DR3. Grant strength checks at advantage, combat plus 10. I'm assuming that is figuring in their exosuit as those are mirrored there. 2 oxygen tanks. Their voices are amplified and distorted. Their visors shine red in the dark. They are merciless, brutal, and a terror to behold. Okay. And the note here is use the blockade to set the stakes for escape, not to stop adventure from happening. The outer rings of the system are patrolled by a ragtag fleet of contracted vessels equipped for interdiction. The aim of the cordon is simple: stop movement to and from the deep by any means necessary. However, working the blockade is a shit detail sold to the lowest bidder. This results in an ineffective cordon riddled with loopholes and corruption. In any month, there are 1d5 ships currently on rotation, usually light frigates, able to independently engage small targets or coordinate against larger threats. On approach, one of the ships hails and demands the crew turn around. Those attempting to approach can pay 3. Here, let's just. Uh, 21,000 credits to oh, never mind. Or yeah. I know that'd be 210,000 credits. Those attempting to leave must pay an artifact or several million credits. If attempting to outrun the blockade, runners are chased and fired upon until the ship is crippled, boarded, or approached. The Bell or the Deep. No normal blockade ship ever willingly enters the orbit of the deep. Each ship in the blockade quarters 1d5 troubleshooter twos. Every 24 hours, there's a cumulative 10% chance the troubleshooters raid the deep in 10-person fire teams. Troubleshooters fire on all targets, human or otherwise, with no questions asked during these raids. Raids last 1d10 hours as 1d5 squads assault the deep. The deep does not fire on them. Commander Rachel Kilroy, Troubleshooter Leader. Commander Kilroy, on her 3rd tour in the deep, has recently been promoted to CO of the Troubleshooters. Her orders are to maintain the blockade at all costs, but to under no circumstances attempt to destroy the Monarch, which would upset the delicate balance between Monarch and the powers that be. However, Kilroy has been changed by the horror she's witnessed in the deep, and she believes that Monarch is the gravest threat to humanity. Voice serious, direct, slightly urgent, manner no bullshit. Wants to maintain the blockade, to recruit drivers to her secret cause, destroy Monarch, to not get ratted out by disloyal or infiltrator troubleshooters. Needs the following in sequence to accomplish her plan: install encrypted radio transmitters on floors 2, 3, 1, 4, and 6. Transmitters on floors are backpack size and heavy. Scout a secure location on floor 3 to use as forward operating base. Radio contact and hold it for 1d5 hours until backup arrives and uses a passcode. Download a copy of the 47th brain scan databank and then destroy the original. Find access to floor 5. Destroy Monarch. Offers top of line gear, maps of the facility, troubleshooter mercenaries. The note there is, if you get captured, or I'd say like that's, if you're doing a one shot, that'd be like a great opening, you know, you've gotten captured and she's offering you this job to get out. We'll pick up next time with the bell. I think unless something changes, that'll probably be tomorrow. Really enjoying this module still so far. Just really like all the themes and the atmosphere. I was a little bit worried when I sort of flipped through it because some of this art is a little intense, but I think I've gotten used to it. I think the only other art they've had that kind of came as close as the unconfirmed contact report. Some of that was quite bizarre. But yes, that is it for today.